This gush of water is what has been driving the turbines at the Kilembe hydropower scheme in Kasese district since the 1950s. It is the 5 megawatts of power generated from here that is used for supplying the Tibet-Hima, formerly Kilembe mines, and some homes in the area.
But like right now, you cannot get that much water. The river is a little bit down, and that's why the production goes down up to 2.5, the lowest we have ever got.
Similarly, Bugoye hydropower plant is also experiencing the same problem.
In 2009, we have never had such low water inflow in September. September usually is a wet season. Unfortunately, this year it is like a dry month.
Both hydropower projects and the Hima cement factory draw water from River Mubuku and Nyamwamba.
The water in River Mubuku is used at the plant, in our running of the plant, and also for consumption, for water usage in our housing estates.
But the water volume is increasingly threatened by the degradation of the river banks. Though this may be a seasonal problem, it is also at times exacerbated by poor farming practices, swamp cutting, sand mining, and bricklaying along the river banks.
We are having floods, and all the topsoil ends up being washed into the river. But also the volumes of water are decreasing because water cannot easily be retained in the ground because there is no cover to sustain this water in the ground. So you find that it's impacting on the quality and the quantity of the water that is flowing in the stream, which impacts on the hydropower generation.
Now, based on the studies that were carried out, we realized that there are a lot of suspended solids in this water. There's a lot of silt, and the worst part of it is sand that flows along downstream.
The hydropower dams are now investing in desilting techniques to sieve impurities in the water.
We are desilting the river upstream and even on the lower side, so downstream, so that we can have the water channel cleared and we avoid floods, and so that we can have enough water for generation, clean, and also for domestic use for the people.
The Worldwide Fund for Nature is spearheading a pilot program to conserve the river catchment by planting trees and sensitizing farmers to stop cultivating along the river shores. The project is working with district and civil society organizations.
Where we are so far given out 100,000 tree seedlings, and these are trying to restore 400,000 hectares of land, but also we are sensitizing the communities on how they can manage their catchment better to ensure that it's not degraded.
So that when waters come, they don't just go direct to the soil and sweep away the soil. So by so doing, in the long run, we'll have the quality of the water maintained and normal volumes flowing every time.
One of the trees that is being encouraged here is bamboo.
Because bamboo has a very strong rooting system, and therefore if it grows well, it will stabilize the river banks.
Since the areas here are prone to flooding, this is also expected to help mitigate its impact. The sources of the river in Mount Rwenzori are well protected by the Uganda Wildlife Authority, but the problem increases downstream. At the moment, the water level is low because of a dry spell here, but this region is prone to flooding, meaning all these rocks and the banks here get submerged whenever it rains heavily. If the initiative succeeds, it will balance the synergy between water and electricity generation by conserving the environment while ensuring the sustainability of renewable energy in hydroelectricity power. Moses Akena, NTV, Nature Files.